My mulberry mask is waiting for children under the flyover long ago. My strawberry adder, its tongue and its fang, it's moving the traffic and making it bang. In the head of the mouse, in the soul of the land, the boy on his willow tree making a bang. Of the mulberry mouse and the snake in the sea, and the wind at its heart is the wind that's in me, and the wind at its heart is the wind that's in me.
It wasn't so far from here that I used to play as a kid. The high street hasn't changed much. Time and concrete has completely obliterated the little shops that stood in this bit back in 1952. Oh, seems like about 100 years ago, really.
But they was dirty little shops and we loved them, you know. If they'd been dirty big shops, we probably would have hated them.
A bigger boy once told me how he'd had a bit of fun with two old maids that lived opposite each other on the same landing. He told me he tied a bit of string round both their knockers and then rang both doorbells. What he didn't tell me was that he meant their door knockers. It was the first time I was in trouble. It was in the Ackroyd Gazette. 9-year-old on rape charge. I played football too with a tin can. People today find it difficult to believe that I did dead ordinary things like that, you know. Wore grey woolen shorts as a kid. They think of me as born with the metal spikes down my trousers and green eyeshadow. Funny. My mother always knew I was different, though.
She was determined that I'd be something. That boy will walk into the Ritz one day, she'd say. Their biscuit factory was just up the road.
Even my father, I think, you know, knew that I wouldn't be a bank teller or a shirt salesman.
Yeah, was,
nah.
Should have gone down.
I didn't have the ability for that. He was very careful himself, though, you know, the odd pint, but he didn't smoke. He said, at least you'll have the security that I never had. Social security.
My mother was religious, very. I mean, she tried to distill it into me. God knows what will happen to you, Terry, she used to say. Because my name was Terry Muldoon in those days, not Elfin Nolan.
The Blackfoot Sioux didn't join me until after I'd been solo for quite a bit. My half-prince lived only 2 miles away. And we discovered later that his grandmother's stepbrother used to knock about with a cousin of my granddad's best friend's girl. Small world, innit? Some people think that it was that kind of thing that influenced my music, but I don't know. Only Jeremy, my manager, and me had any faith, you know, Mulberry Mouse. Nobody would touch it.
There's this ridiculous story that I knocked the words off in a calf in 10 minutes. I was a good half hour in that calf. I'll tell you one secret, though. My manager wrote the last line. Yeah. I got stuck after and the wind at its heart. And he drove up to the cafe in his big old Bentley. He wasn't really, you know, rich in those days. Although I thought he was, you know, compared with ours. But he tried to make me write my own song.
Nobody could get near the Mammoth Connection at that time. They did 3 firsts and Mulberry Mouse blasted them from the whole scene. The Mammoth Connection. It's like me dad talking about the ink spots now, isn't it? Just a memory, 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 the 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 memory. It must have been only about a month after I left the biscuit factory that we got the Royal Festival Hall concert.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And the next week I got the MBE. Now, I suppose it's an honour and all that. I always say I'd rather have the bread. Now, to be a sir, that's more class, but an MBE's for the rubbish, innit?
I remember a coloured supplement journalist. I mean, he was white, but his magazine was... Anyway,
he asked how I got onto the handcuffs and chains and spikes and cat and nine tails. He said, was it just a gimmick? I said, mate, it was a necessity. He was playing a gig in Feltham and Jeremy had me wearing a pair of baggy sort of rocking trousers, held up with a string of beads. Well, they went and broke, didn't they? 2 minutes before I was on, right? Jeremy was screaming, shouting like, who's got a bit of string? Bit of string, mate, I said, and tore his chain down. The whole bleeding cistern came with it. The yellow scab was soaked to the skin. They've never forgiven me. But it was a genuine emergency, The NME story was codswallop, manacled birds in mulberry mousetrap. If I ever have to chain a bird, I'll turn it in. No, as soon as I got on the stage, I realised we was onto something. It had never happened before, not that sort of scream that went up. Big bloke he was too, with a dash. And I pulled the bull whip from under the piano lid before the last number and hear them shriek. I just thank God that I can give that kind of pleasure. I'm grateful that I couldn't do sums or write. I'm glad that I was born at a time when the heroes can be scruffy and stupid even. Of course I have regrets. Who hasn't? The old maid's knocker, And, it's been a rich life, a full one. But God knows what I'm going to do with the next, maybe 50 years.
As we all know, it was a problem he didn't have for long. Just 3 nights after that interview, Elfin Nolan, with 300 yards of microphone cable, accidentally strangled himself at the Town Hall Cafe.